Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Democrats seem to be learning that handing out participation trophies probably isn't the greatest strategy if you're trying to get stuff done. If you're trying to get the best people in the top positions, if you're trying to win, then you probably shouldn't be promoting losers. And those aren't my words, those are words from the Democrat media. It seems as though this election season, as the copium is fading, is becoming a massive wake-up call for the left-wing establishment. The left-wing media is now urging Democrats to stop falling for, quote, superstar losers, implying that Democrats and Democrat voters spend too much time idolizing and backing deeply unpopular candidates who get nothing done, who don't even get into office. Yet they're seemingly such influential figures within the party and the establishment. But that's what happens when your culture moves away from a system of meritocracy, and the Democrats are finally realizing it's a losing strategy. Literally. Let me show you guys what's going on here with this article from The Atlantic. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, take a look at this. Democrats keep falling for, quote, superstar losers. There's never been a better time to lose an election. In the early 2000s, the Japanese racehorse Haru Urara became something of an international celebrity. This was not because of her prowess on the track, just the opposite. Haru Urara had never won a race. She was famous for not winning but for losing, and the longer her losing streak stretched, the more famous she grew. She finished her career with a perversely pristine record. 0 wins, 113 losses. American politics doesn't have anyone quite like Haru Urara, but it does have Beto O'Rourke and Stacey Abrams. The two Democrats are among the country's best-known political figures, better known than almost any sitting U.S. governor or senator, and they have become so well known not by winning big elections, but by losing them. Both Abrams and O'Rourke have won some elections, but their name recognition far surpasses their electoral accomplishments. After serving 10 years in the Georgia House of Representatives, Abrams rose to prominence in 2018 when she ran unsuccessfully for the governorship. O'Rourke served 3 terms as a Texas congressman before unsuccessfully running for the Senate, then the presidency, and now for governor. And they are both running again this year, Abrams for governor of Georgia, O'Rourke for governor of Texas. They are perhaps the 2 greatest exponents of a peculiar phenomenon in American politics, that of the superstar loser. And so the article goes on, but essentially the point is questioning why Democrats continue to get behind these figures. Well, we know the answer, of course. It's a racket, especially with Robert Francis O'Rourke. His voters know he's not going to win Texas, the Democrats know he's not going to win Texas, but he sure is good at pulling in a bunch of donations nationally and bringing all those juicy dollars into the Democrat coffers. The whole thing's a racket. Stacey Abrams, on the other hand, is a little bit of a different situation. For some reason, Democrats have hailed her as some sort of superstar, activist superstar, when really, once again, she's done absolutely nothing. They credit Stacey Abrams as being a key component of Joe Biden's 2020 win in the state of Georgia, but of course that's a laughable notion. She did literally nothing. Democrats want to have you believe that her activism turned up voter turnout. But of course, as we know, that narrative is a load of you-know-what. And recently, Stacey Abrams suffered a massive loss in her lawsuit. She's done literal nothing, zilch, nada. And the funniest part is, Stacey Abrams keeps arguing that voter integrity laws are voter suppression laws. What they really are laws meant to stop the black vote and to stop voter turnout. And then in this year's election, after the state of Georgia passed election integrity measures, would you look at that, Georgia breaks voter turnout records, at least for the early vote. All she is yet again another grifter. She's no activist superstar. She's a one-trick pony. My voter ID is racist, which she continues to flip-flop back and forth on. Outside of that very narrow political identity, there's very little substance. She is a superstar loser. She's famous for her activism, but when it actually comes to it, the substance of who she is, there's nothing there. She's a failure, and she's failing this year more than ever. She's down in the polls by 10 points in some of the recent surveys that I've been looking at. Democrats are finally coming to a moment of realization, an epiphany, so to speak. Maybe we shouldn't be idolizing and putting on pedestals chronic, repeated political losers. Maybe, just maybe, that makes us look bad. I mean, Hillary Clinton's a great example. Democrats keep going back to Hillary Clinton over and over again. At one point, they were even launching a campaign to try to get Hillary Clinton to come back and replace Joe Biden. And what I'm asking myself is, what kind of strategy is that? that? Should we move forward to new talent? Find people with charisma and a great ability to speak like Barack Obama? Nah, we should go back to Hillary Clinton, because that worked great the first time now, didn't it? I mean, the most unlikable person in politics. The literal reason Donald Trump got elected. Back then, Donald Trump wasn't as popular as he is now. He was an unknown. He was risky. You know what? Hillary Clinton was so bad, she was such a disaster, so unlikable, that people were willing to go with Donald Trump and just say, screw it, let's see what happens. I mean, that strategy from the Democrats, sticking with losers and unlikable people, is what elected the evil orange man that they all keep crying and complaining about. It's a serious problem. Some would even call it an epidemic in the Democrat Party. I mean, look at all the polls moving forward to 2024. Joe Biden's number one on that list. The guy is a loser. He failed to get more than 1% of the vote every single time he ran for president except for the last time. And number two is Kamala Harris. Well, that kind of speaks for itself now, doesn't it? It's like Hillary Clinton, but even worse and more cringy. But of course, these Democrat voters act like they're in a cult, just like they do with celebrities. It's almost like a celebrity/politician worship. And so they're all rallying behind Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to even take over. That is a recipe for disaster, a disaster waiting to happen. We can see the writing on the wall. We can see that it's a bad strategy, but apparently the Democrats can't because they keep doing it over and over again. They take elections for granted. They control the major population centers, they control culture and celebrities, Hollywood, media, which makes them lazy and entitled. They don't have to work and look for talent. And it's the same faces over and over and over again. It's not a good winning strategy. And we know that it's not a good winning strategy because if you think about it, if Democrats had popular figures, they would never lose. If they had great, competent leaders, the Democrat Party would be in perpetual power. They would never lose an election, ever. Every election would be Obama's 2008 victory. They have no excuse. There is no excuse as a Democrat to lose in any swing state. You have all the celebrities, all the athletes, all the TV shows, all the talk shows, the news shows, the article writers. Everyone and everything is advocating for you, frankly, is campaigning for you. And so you have no excuse to lose. When Democrats lose, like I always say, a lot of the times it's not even necessarily the Republicans doing anything special. It's just Republicans winning by virtue of not being Democrats. Republicans winning by virtue of not being Hillary Clinton or Kamala Harris. They're straight up Democrats who will tell you that. Coming 2024, who would you vote for? Donald Trump or Kamala Harris? Oh, well, Kamala Harris, not so sure about that one. I guess I'll have to vote for Donald Trump. Imagine a Democrat, or imagine a left-leaning independent, saying those words, I guess I'll have to vote for Donald Trump. You have to be a total disaster to get somebody who's moderate left-wing to say something like that. And it's just crazy how the Democrats keep going back to these candidates over and over again. Beto O'Rourke is going to get slammed. Stacey Abrams is done. The question is, are the Democrats going to kick them to the curb and move forward? Or are they going to continue to worship Stacey Abrams as some sort of Democrat deity? I guess we'll have to see if 2022 is truly a wake-up season, a wake-up call for the Democrat Party. I somehow doubt it. It's probably going to be Russia's fault or voter suppression's fault or, I don't know, some sort of convenient excuse. But like I said, when Democrats lose, Democrats have only Democrats to blame. That's what I got for you guys though. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel if you guys are up for it. I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.